So it looks like we're getting a Popeye horror movie. The trailer and these photos were just released, and looking at the photos themselves, the movie looks pretty good. Until you watch the trailer itself. The movie's being described as a raunchy, gory slasher, having to do with the spirit of Popeye coming back to haunt this group of counselors. Which sounds really reminiscent of Friday the 13th, which is kind of my main theory that I had for this movie, that it was going to be some type of Friday the 13th Scream-esque movie, and it does seem like that's what we're going to be getting. Now, going into the photos before we jump into the trailer, we got this first photo where Popeye looks absolutely insane. Bro looks like he's been eating his spinach. We also have this photo where it looks like his main weapon of choice is going to be an anchor, which makes sense for the Popeye character. We don't have any photos or videos of him actually eating spinach. I'm not sure if someone else owns the rights to that, but that would be pretty cool to see as well. Now, when I heard rumblings about this movie being released next year, I thought it was going to be a part of the Pooniverse Monsters Assemble, which has to do with the same team who made Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey and Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, and it's also making Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare, Pinocchio Unstrung, the Bambi horror movie, and pretty much taking all of our favorite childhood characters and clashing them into giant one Avenger-style universe called the Pooniverse, which is going to be a movie released later next year having to do with all of these characters probably creating chaos in some other town or some fairy tale land and just killing people. But I couldn't have been more wrong. This is not by the same team who made Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey and Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, and I'm going to be honest, I wish it was. Because when you first watch Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, you see that this movie is terrible. It is a terrible, low-budget movie with horrible storyline. Characters don't look like the characters whatsoever. They look like normal people in costumes. Then when you see the success of Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, like, okay, the characters look good, the storyline looks good, and this movie is actually a pretty good slasher. I don't know if that's what we're going to be getting with this movie, because just by the trailer alone, it looks to be very comedic, which sometimes is okay in a horror movie. I feel like when you take a childhood character and turn them into a horror movie character and put them in that slasher realm, I don't think the movie should be relatively funny. Also, with a note being released by the director saying that Popeye is an absolute terror in this movie. Quote-unquote unstoppable killing machine, which in theory sounds really cool. Then again, you watch the trailer and it kind of looks like a Tubi movie, which is fair to say because the original Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey did as well. But as I said, it's not made by the same company, it's not made by the same directors. I'm gonna give this movie a chance. I don't think it could be bad as Mickey's Mousetrap, which released earlier this year. That movie was quite literally the worst movie I have ever seen in my whole entire life. But I guess my biggest question is, how are they gonna make this movie actually good? That's an answer for you guys because I have absolutely no idea. I just don't know how I feel about them turning Popeye into a serial killing ghost, like an urban legend of Popeye coming back to kill people at a camp. Sounds like Friday the 13th with Popeye, who's also using an anchor as a weapon. Listen, I don't know, I didn't create this. Popeye would not have been my first choice for a horror movie slasher. As you guys know, I do love indie films. Like I pretty much said before, I don't know how I feel about this just based on the trailer alone. All in all, I am decently excited for this movie. As I said before, you guys know I love indie films. The movie does look gory, it does look raunchy from the actual trailer itself, but it does also look extremely low budget, which as we know is okay. There's nothing wrong with making a low budget film, as long as the storyline is good and the character play is good. I'm just excited to see what they can actually do and build off with the character of Popeye, because the coolest thing about this whole entire movie is the fact that it seems like his main weapon of choice is going to be an anchor. All in all, like I said, I'm pretty excited. I want to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I also want to thank you guys so much for all the recent support on the channel. It truly does mean the world to me. But all that being said, guys, my name is Chris, and of course, I will catch you guys in the next one.